Hello and welcome to Ezoic Blogging 101. Today I want to talk about a sometimes misunderstood metric in the advertising industry, and that is EPMV, also known as earnings per thousand visitors. I also want to tell you why EPMV is a better metric for you as a publisher, whereas other metrics like CPM or RPM are actually in the interest of the advertiser, not you as the publisher. So to kick things off, let's first define earnings per thousand visitors. How do you calculate that? Well, you take your total earnings over a time period and divide that by your total visitors over the same time period and multiply it by 1,000. So if you have $100 that you earn in a given month with 1,000 visitors, then you would divide 100 divided by 1,000. And as I pull up my calculator here, I will give you the answer to that. Times 1,000 equals to $100 EPMV, which is actually very high. But that's in its simplest form how you calculate earnings per thousand visitors. And this is a good metric for publishers because it accounts for the entire session duration of a user to your site. How many pages does that user view? How many ads do they see throughout the duration of that visit? And ultimately, how much you earn. It takes into account user experience as well as your ad earnings, which metrics like RPM and CPM do not. For example, let's say a site has a very high CPM for a top of page ad slot, or even a high RPM for the first landing page. While that might look good on paper because the advertiser is earning more or paying more, it could be that that large ad at the top or that aggressive ad set up on a landing page is driving users away from your site and costing you money, because if they stay on your site, and I have a good example here as I scroll down, they'll actually view more pages, see more ads, and make you more revenue. So check out these two scenarios right here. Scenario 2 has that higher RPM, but it has a lower EPMV. So you end up earning less revenue overall. Whereas scenario 1, you have a lower EPM, a higher overall EPMV, more page views per visit, and that you end up earning more, $200 as opposed to $150. So measuring with EPMV is a better way to look at your site. It's going to give you a true north for how much you should earn or the potential that your site can earn. In fact, AdSense already tracks this. They have a metric called session revenue. If you look at their reporting, you'll be able to find that in their ad reports tab. I'll actually show you where you can find that in AdSense right here. It's under, let's see, I'm going to move myself over, ad sessions here. So the reports page, ad sessions. And then if you scroll over to the right, you will see ad session RPM. And that translates to EPMV with Ezoic and is the metric that you want to be looking at for your site. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.